once again. Back for a chat. Just getting a few things. My little singing bowl. Let's start the occasion. Very nice. Very nice cleansing. Couple of deep breaths. Very important. Just help center yourself before you do anything. You want to help align your energy with your physical body. Breathing deep in the nose, deep into the stomach, exhaling out, and then repeat and rinse. Relax. It's good to start the day like that. How are we going? You got Craig. This is Craigsworldrocks. Welcome aboard, my friend. Whoever has dropped past to say hi. If you have not hung out with me before, my YouTube live is around positivity in life. Being more positive. And our friend has jumped off, so obviously they're not needing more positive in their life. Otherwise they would have hung around, right? It is Tuesday evening, Melbourne, Australia, 7:31 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll just tongue twist myself there. Boom. Yes, this is where Craig comes from, Melbourne, Australia. So hang on to your hats. We will wait a little bit longer till we get a little bit of a live audience, as we always do. And then we will jump in. Howdy, how are we going? You've got Craig. And welcome to Craigsworldrocks. We are here once again. It's Tuesday evening in Melbourne, Australia. Nagar, how you going? Godzilla, how you going? Good to see a few regular faces as such. I hope that your days have been going well. Money Mojo, how you going? You're all very welcome to stop and hang out for a bit with Craig and dive into yes, mate, I am an Australian. I'm from sunny Melbourne, Australia, in the south of Australia. So it's in the state of Victoria. It's the capital city, Melbourne, Australia, in Victoria. So there you go. So I apologise for my accent if others do not hear my accent. Well, some do say that they have trouble understanding certain words. But Josie, how you going? Thank you for hanging out. Pajit, how you going? Welcome here, welcome. Oh, in May, Godzilla. Well, everyone in Melbourne, all of us Mexicans will appreciate you coming to hang out, mate, I'm sure. Appreciate you very much. It's the only accent I've got. It's all I've ever known. Have a go. Oh, you too, Stretch, mate. Nah, enjoy the... I know a beer in Darwin is twice as good as everywhere else, right? Because it's so bloody hot all the time. So yeah, well, thank you, Josie, for subbing. Look, one of those things that I say to everyone, if you like what I talk about, if you like just listening to a dude talk about trying to create more positive in your life, well, maybe I'm your guy. When things are a bit down or life's a bit tough, you know, come and hang out with Craig. You know, I'll always be glass half full. I'll always give you an idea about how to look at it in a different way. Kid, very good, very good. Look, you know, very laid back accent. Ours is very, you know, matter of fact, I suppose. We're larrikins at heart. We, you know, life's very cruisy and it takes a lot to get us riled up. But we're honest, straightforward, down the line Aussies, and that's what I'm like. Yeah, I got a wife. I got two grown boys that are off having their own adventures in life. So yeah, Imran, how you going, mate? Good to see you. Look, everyone that comes on my lives, one of the things I always like to say at the early stages of my life is, please, with everything I talk about, take the things you like, chuck out what you don't like. What do I mean by that? Whatever sits with you. And I take this philosophy forward to anyone that I listen to, any speeches or a person having an opinion. Take the things that sit with you, that feel good, the things that you don't click with or whatever, you let them go. No one's here to try and duplicate themselves in life, in my opinion, but, you know, a lot of other situations or people that we come across in life, sometimes they'll be talking about something, but one of the things they say will help answer a question that you have about something you might be stuck on in your life. So always be open-minded, always be, you know, looking for more positive attitude and presenting that in your own life. But, you know, I'm a very open-minded guy. If I was going to say what area of life my beliefs come from, it would be from probably the metaphysical way of looking at life, that what people put out is what comes back. So that's a very old philosophy that a lot of people do believe in that. But anyone that understands or believes the concept that they have an input in life, that what you do creates your own reality, that's my premise, and that's what I've proven to myself over a long period of time, over my adulthood, having many different mentors, people I've met, meditation teachers, positive people, negative people, you know, you name it. My ancestors are probably more European based. I'm very much a mutt. You know, there's Irish, there's Welsh, there's Danish, there's probably a bit of Italian, a bit of Greek in there, who knows, you know. It's pretty hard to tell with me. But yeah, a real mix. This savage, thanks, mate. Appreciate you. Look, life is what you make it, everyone, right? And the reason that I'm doing my lives now, I've been doing them for a couple of months. A lot of the things that I've learnt in life, I've done bits and pieces of videos over the last 18 months, but, you know, I've put out there for people to have a listen to if they're interested. And, you know, if what I've learned can help people a little bit and they can get answers for themselves in areas where they haven't heard these types of philosophies before, I'm happy to pass that on. I feel like I've learnt these things and I want to leave them for others. I want to pass them on. I want to be another individual that's happy to put myself out there, be my authentic self, you know, and I believe I am an authentic individual that just wants to be the best version of myself I can be these days, all right? And I encourage everyone, I think, or should I say, one of the main things I think in life that people kind of are looking for is the fact that you can be your unique self and you can turn your unique self into the best version of yourself. You can do that. You can take ownership fully of all these aspects of you, and you can transform yourself from where you are now into a more abundant, more loving, more positive, more enjoyable creation of life for you, right? Life is about you as the individual. Each of us create our own reality for ourselves. Life's not about trying to take control of everything around us or tell other people how to be so that our world becomes better. For me, life is about listening to what's happening inside yourself and being really honest with what you think, what your beliefs are, and how you're acting. Take ownership of that. When you start to take ownership of who you are and who you want to be and how you're acting, your world will transform for the better. All right, so your world can always transform for the better if you want it to be, right? If you want your world to improve from where it is now, the first steps I always say to everyone are knowing who you are, knowing what you believe right now. You know, understanding yourself authentically. The one person in life you can't lie to is yourself. You can lie to every other person that comes along in your life, and you can bullshit your way through life, and no one's really going to know if you're telling the truth or if you're not telling the truth. But you, inside you, you know if you're being real. You know if you're being fake, you know if you're being real, you know if you're being the best version of you. There's no one out there that's going to judge you, in my opinion. The only person that's judging your life is yourself. So do you want to get more out of your life? Do you want to transform your life for the better? Well, I'm telling you that basically you can transform your life for the better through your actions, through your thoughts, through your words. No toes? I believe that people create their own reality. Yes, it's very real. But the reality of life, let me backtrack a touch for you, mate. The reality of life, there's a few ways I think people can believe about life, right? You can either believe, oh, maybe, I don't know, mate. Half the time I don't know if they're joking or they're not joking. No, you can't undo that. So that's his choice, right? So it's always about how you react to a situation, no toes, right? It's always about how you react. Situation will happen. People will act positive and negative around you. How do you respond to each situation, right? I'm not here to control anyone. If someone acts really badly on this YouTube channel or says things that I think are unacceptable, then bang, I hide their words, they're gone. But the reality is that you can't, no matter how much you dislike the way an individual acts or whatever, you can't control another person. Tripping out. Hatland Man, okay. He good. Oh, all right, no worries. But the only person in your life that you have a say in what's going on is you. That's it. The only person that you can take control of is you. And I've discovered over many, many years that when you think more positively, instead of when you speak very positive to other people that come into your world, it encourages them to come back with positive. You are actually transforming what's happening around you by taking control of your actions. A lot of people, they think that life doesn't mean anything, right? They think that it doesn't matter, and they act however they act because, hey, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? And they always have, they act really negatively. No, mate. I don't even know who that person is, so no idea. When you act really negatively, you often will find that those people keep having situations in their life that are negative. You know, oh, act really badly, that's a bad type of attitude. You know, that's a bad attitude, and then the same negative things will re-manifest again and again and again, and people get caught on what they call is the hamster wheel, where you're thinking that life's shit, and you're thinking that, you know, I can't do anything to change it. And because you are saying these things and believing these things, your subconscious keeps recreating that situation. See, for me, there's 3 different things that help people create their own reality. All right? I'm going to tell you straight off because I'm not here to hide anything. I'm not here to play games. The first is your thoughts. That's where your imagination is, and that's where you think, right? So you think in your conscious mind. You've got to try and take control of that and think positive thoughts, right? Because what you're putting out is what's coming back in your life. The second is how you speak. So when you're thinking something positive, you should be expressing that. Don't get caught up in negativity. Don't get caught up in dumping on people or thinking that it's okay to throw out negative comments about situations, because you're sending the wrong message back to your subconscious mind. And thirdly is the actions that you do. So I advise people in general to go after things in life that make them feel really good, and then start to try and implement those things through action in your life. See, because the part of you that creates your own reality is your subconscious mind, right? And it creates it by listening to your thoughts, hearing what you're saying, and seeing what your actions are. When it sees those three things, it will say, that's what Craig wants. He's saying and doing all this. I will help him. I will create more of those things that he is saying he wants. You speak to your subconscious mind by those three key things: your thoughts, your words, and your actions. It's not one, it's not 2 out of 3, it's all 3. The reason that actions are important is, hello everybody, we're living in a physical world, right? We have hands, we have heads, we're physical, all right? As much as this world, I believe, is like a simulation created for us to exist physically, it's a simulation-based universe so that we can actually create and change and learn to understand ourselves. Hey user, how you going? Learn to understand ourselves from different perspectives. So we're getting to know ourselves more, right? Those 3 things, which I'll repeat again, they are what are the keys for you to learn to do to create your own reality consciously. You are always unconsciously creating your own reality. I'm an Aussie, my friend. Boaz and YBS. Yes, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm Craig. This is my YouTube channel, Craigsworldrocks, and it's where I go live. I'm going very, very well. The reason I do the lives is because I think people get to see the authentic me, and I want to basically express who I truly am and be the best version of myself I can be. And I think it's something that I believe in, and I want other people to hopefully be inspired by that. Now, I'm just your standard bloke that's lived my life, and I have a lot of positive attitudes around how you can transform your life, and they're metaphysical understandings, but it's really, a lot of them are very personal to me in the sense that I've learned a lot of these techniques, or, you know, studied these things over many decades of having my own mentors and people that are, you know, a few clairvoyants here and there, and meditation classes and all that type of stuff. So I basically am putting out my truth, and if you like it, great. Hang out, subscribe, listen whenever you like. I'm very glass half full. I very much believe that the more positive you are in your own life, the more positive you are to others, the more positive your life will transform. It's very, very simple. You don't want to make this understanding too confusing, because you'll lose your way. You've got the trick to anything is simplifying it for yourself to basically be able to navigate through your own stuff, right? Navigating through your own stuff is enough of a quagmire, let me tell you. You know, going back that bit further, you know, as we're raised as human beings, hey, Amelia, how you going? Hope everything's well. When we're raised through our own, you know, families and people that raise us and teach us and put their own beliefs upon us, we basically, hey, Ryan, did I say hi to you, Ryan? I hope I did, mate. Yeah. Yes, I did. I think I did. We have to work through all of these things that have been programmed upon us, because when we become an adult, we start to often have comments about situations, but they're not really our comments. And sometimes we can say something and go, oh, that actually wasn't very nice. Where did that come from? And often it's a belief that's been programmed in us from someone else in the family, or a friend, or teachers, or mates, or whatever, that have said this is what they think's right. And as a younger person, we've absorbed it and gone, well, why would they lie to me, right? But they just didn't know any better, okay? Because let's face it, no one tells you when you start living your life what the reality is about existence. They really, in most cases, don't have that conversation at all. So we take on everyone's confusing beliefs from all around us. And, because we start as a clean slate, we're a little pure vibrational being that doesn't have any programming. That's how we start this life off, because we want to know. I think we want to know as beings, as parts of the universe, as parts of the all that is, we want to know what it's like to rediscover ourselves, right? I believe that inside myself, that's why we come in here without the memory of all of our other past lives, of the beings that we actually are. I think we are much more than what we realize, right? I think that life is more than what we realize. I think we're more than what we realize. But I think it's a journey of rediscovery. I think it's coming from not knowing who we really are to awakening back to who we truly are again. Most people think from their head, and they look outside themselves for the answers to life. I'm always saying to everyone that I come across and talk about life in this way, I say, hey, the answers for life for you are inside you. They are not out there. You come into this world with every answer you need inside yourself, right? That's how I look at it. Death, Sion, how you going? I've always looked forward to death. I've got to tell you, it's going to be exciting. I honestly think they should change the word death, because it's really a transition, but it's an exciting time because everyone's doing it. Can't be that bad, right? So we want to connect and embrace who we really are, right? Beautiful, Death. I will, mate. I will call you Death. We want to embrace we want to reconnect with who we are, right? I think the answers to who we really are in our hearts. Simple as that. They're in our hearts, but connecting with your high vibrational, or being more higher vibrational, or doing things that you enjoy more in your life, that lifts your vibration, should I say, and that naturally connects your heart with your conscious mind. So as you do things that you enjoy in life, as you open yourself up and raise your own vibration, you create a access between the heart and the head, and you basically can give yourself an opportunity to speak to your heart. All right? The heart is the place that has the answers that everyone wants for themselves. Your answers are unique to you. I believe that. You've come here for reasons that only you can answer. I've come here because there are things that I wanted to learn, right? No, I'm not a teacher, but I would say I must have been a philosopher in a past life, right? Because I've always loved talking about life, the universe and everything. And public speaking's never been an issue for me. So I can jump up in front of people, talk, chat about, as long as I'm pretty confident about what I'm talking about, no problem, right? So talking about life as such as a topic has always interested me. So there are so many facets. There's no place you're going to get to where you know everything. And if you think you've got to a place where you know everything, you're probably getting ahead of yourself, because life goes on forever. Learning goes on forever. We become more aware of who we are the more we expand, right? The more we sit back from and observe what's going on as a whole. Appreciate that, Death. I mean, from my perspective, yes, what I'm saying to you, I 100% believe what I'm saying to you. And I love this live situation. It gives me a great reflection of myself, because I see myself saying it, right? But you've always got to be taking the things that sit well with you from anything you hear and throw away what you don't like, right? Because that's what makes us individual. Hey, Blake, how you going, mate? Welcome from Wales. My mother's father was Welsh, so there you go. But I was just saying earlier that I'm very much a European mix bag of all different nationalities. I think that's pretty much where I sit. Kind of sits well being an Aussie, because we're all a bit mixed bag down here. But welcome, mate. Welcome aboard. So life is about, for me, discovering who we really are, right? Connecting with our own true selves. Because I think that's the only way we're ever going to know the truth about, you know, well, some do, yes, I believe so. But European, right? They're not all from England, I suppose. There's many mixed cultures from around the world. That we're a very multicultural country these days, and proud of it. I don't have an issue with any race or religion or sex or whatever. It's, you know, we're all the same. We're all human beings, so we should treat each other with respect and kindness and like brothers and sisters, and that's it. It is, there you go, Wales is part of the UK. So you kind of joined at the hip. Are you joined at the hip, Blake, or are you still, you got your unique roots in Wales compared to the UK, right? Like a priest. Well, I'm sure priests are different age groups, Death, but I'm about 56, my friends, so there you go. I've had a good, reasonable journey, and hopefully many more years to go, mate, to knock out. How you going, Bowden? Bowden Smith, welcome aboard, mate. Yeah, hopefully many more years of discovery, mate. I mean, life's pretty exciting to me. I mean, getting to have any type of different experience, right? Yeah, well, we don't want to get caught up in history too much, Blake. I mean, the only thing that truly exists is right now where we are. And you happen to be hanging out in my YouTube channel, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate you, mate. But, you know, I'll run down that for a second. The only thing that does exist is now. If anyone here is not really clear on that. I mean, yesterday, when we were there yesterday was the now when we were there. But now we have to let that go because we've already had that experience. And tomorrow, the future won't exist until we get there and it becomes the now. The only thing that actually exists for any of us is the now. That's the one common denominator. I don't usually talk about my day job because I keep that little bit of anonymity, Blake. So, you know, but I'm a good talker, so that might give you a clue, all right? But I've done a lot of things over the journey in general life and, you know, jobs and so on. So I'm, yeah, a bit of a mixed bag across the board, mate. Not locked into anything particularly. Hobbies, love crystals, mate. Love crystals. Love public speaking. Into listening to other people and what they're going through. So I suppose psychology would be something that I would have gotten into if I'd thought that was an option. You know, also love cooking, home cooking, love that. Love the bush, love the environment. Bit of a hippie at heart. There you go. I've rolled out a few, mate. I try and be as authentic as I can, Blake, for everyone that's here, mate. There you go. So, you know, it's just about embracing who you are. You know, I don't turn around and say to anyone, you can't believe this or you can't believe that. You know, there's a lot of people that have their opinions, and if you're comfortable in that and you're not going out there trying to control other people, I'm happy with that. It's not even about, you know, making people do anything against their will. It's really about, I don't agree with other people trying to control any other human, right? Like, so I believe that the only person that you should be empowering is you, about you. Because when you empower yourself, you actually give yourself the ability to change what you don't like. You actually say to yourself, you know what? That way that I'm acting or that way that I'm being, I don't really like that anymore. I'm going to make a change there. I'm going to be better in that space. So taking ownership that you create your own world, that you're a part of the all that is. That's how I think about it all. It's like that. We're all part of the one existence. We're all from the same place. Race, religion, doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't even like the general terms, even when I say I'm more metaphysical, right? Because metaphysicians are very much about, they believe they create their own reality, which I do as well, right? But I don't think we need to put terminology and everything. I mean, half the reason that there's bloody old wars and hatred in the world is that different religions can't stand each other and different, you know, sections bloody try and hurt each other, and I'm totally like, that's just, it's not logical. It doesn't even sit with me. They're usually old things that have come from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So it's really just about knowing who you are. From my perspective, being the best version of you, being the most positive version for you, to be that example for others through your actions, through your words, through your thoughts, being genuine, being authentic. That's the most important thing a person can do. Don't worry about putting labels on yourself, that you're in this group or that group or whatever. Be in your own group. I'm Craig. I believe in myself and I create my own reality. And I want to transform things for the better for myself. And I want to be the example that shows other people that I care about around me. You can do the same for yourself. You can connect with your unique individual self and life can be awesome for you, right? First things I talk about in this space, I appreciate that, Blake, no issue, mate. The first thing I say in this space to general people is, you have to know who you are right now, warts and all. You have to be honest with you. It's not about telling the world all your good, bad, and ugly traits, right? But if you don't know, if you're not honest with yourself about who you are, what you believe, what you stand for, what your thoughts are, if you don't really know yourself, how can you change from here to here? Because you have to know where you are so that you know, okay, I'm this version of Craig, but I want to be this version of Craig. So if I don't really know this version well enough or clear enough, how do I know what to change to become this version of Craig? All right. So the first step for me is honesty and authenticity, right? Who are you? What do you believe? Look yourself in the mirror. They call it mirror work. Look yourself in the mirror and have an honest conversation. Once a day, sit down, breathe to yourself in your bedroom, relax, and take ownership of yourself, right? Who are you? What do you believe? What do you want? Thank you for the subscribe. I believe it was Tanya, flashed up there. So that's the first thing, right? And you will discover, I think a lot of us discover, that there are certain beliefs that sit within us that you go, oh, I didn't know I thought that. I didn't know I think like that. Oh, I really don't like the idea of people thinking I think like that. I want to change that. When you acknowledge something about yourself that you don't like, that's when you can let it go. That's when you can replace it because you've acknowledged it. You've seen it. It's not hidden anymore. It's been brought to the surface. The whole thing, to bring blockages to the surface, is one of the hardest things that people talk about in a spiritual sense, right? To transform yourself, to clear the blockages from you, to accept the negative that's happened in your life so it's not holding you back anymore, is to basically, you've got to see it, right? The best way to bring it up that I've found is starting to do things that you enjoy thoroughly, that you get joy out of, that you are extremely passionate about, right? I mentioned before to Blake that I love my natural stones. I've always got a few crystals hanging around. They're beautiful, they're natural. I've done stone cutting over the years. I've made jewelry. I've done all types of things in that space just because I love them. They're beautiful things to work with and they make me feel good. So that's good for me, right? But when you do something that you're passionate about, when you do something that you're looking forward to, that excites you, what is the energy of excitement? It is higher vibration. Everything that brings you joy lifts your vibration naturally, right? If you did things in your life on a daily basis that brought you joy with all the time you did it. So if you got a job that you just love doing, that you're excited to be there, right? Because it was something that brings you passion, it just lifts you, then your vibration of excitement and that high vibration would be there every day in your life. You would be high. Now, basically when you have this higher vibration, you allow yourself to, it basically brings up any negative blockages naturally. Any negative programs that are in you usually will come forward in that sense, or you'll remember them, should I say, right? So a memory might pop back of you thinking about something that's not so positive, because the higher vibration, I believe, clears the lower vibration out of us, or it lifts the stuff that's blocked, it lifts it up into the conscious mind, and you have an opportunity to decide whether you want to stay with that belief, whether you want to hold on to that idea that that's the way I act in that situation. Memories, or if they're something you believe, a belief, often will be connected to an emotion. So you'll be upset, or you'll be angry, or there'll be something that have helped you to, I can't let that go, it made me feel terrible. So there's a fear emotion or an anger emotion that's held this belief inside you, which when certain situations are created, that attitude will come out. But if you do things that you're enjoying, if you start lifting your vibration, these low negative beliefs and things will actually come back to the conscious mind, giving you an opportunity to let go of them once and for all. And letting them go is not as hard as what you think. It is actually acknowledging them and understanding that you no longer want to think or be like that. Because when you start working on a higher vibrational level, when you start living your passions, when you start living the things that bring you joy, when you are happy all the time, and that is possible, all right, that is very possible, the lower vibrational beliefs, they can't stay locked in your vibration. It's bringing them to the surface. So I want you to be aware of that as well. So if you start to go down that path of going after things that you've put off, things that you would say, oh, I always love that, but I haven't had time to even do that. Once you start doing more of those things, this is the other thing that happens, okay? So when you start doing something, let's use my crystals as an idea. So let's say I was doing a job 9 to 5, and the only time I could do any crystal jewelry making was on a Saturday morning at this group, lapidary classes where they cutting stones and stuff. And so I had a 2-hour period on a Saturday morning where I was able to go there and mix with people that are into the same thing and really just love doing it, right? For no other reason, just love it, right? Feeling really good. The other thing that doing something that makes you feel that good when your vibration's that high is that you are around like-minded people into the same stuff. And your subconscious sees and feels and hears how you're acting and then says, wow, Craig's really loving this. I'm telling my subconscious, I want more of this. So you start manifesting more opportunities in that space. You can often find that someone in the class might say, you know what, I'm Harry and you're a really good bloke and I really need another person to come work with me in a business that I own, and the business happens to be all about crystals. And all of a sudden, the universe has helped manifest and create a job that I can choose to go and do that I would enjoy every minute of every day being there. Now that's how you transform your life for the better. But your actions have to start at some level. Unfortunately, I'm not queer, but, power to you, all right? I have a wife, 2 grown boys, heterosexual man, very clear. So all good though, all love to you guys, right? I don't judge, I appreciate, and everyone is from the same place. So we're all brothers and sisters, and that's how we should treat each other. But it is all about taking ownership of how you are acting. If you want to transform your life for the better, all right, you have to take responsibility for your life. A lot of people just aren't doing that. They treat their life like it's some throwaway, McDonald's bag that is just not even recyclable, right? I mean, that was a terrible analogy, but you can't treat your life like that. But people do. I accept it that they do. The reason I think people do, and I've been there, I've been disconnected when I was younger with life, and you act out because you're not comfortable and you're not settled in what life is, and you don't feel like there's any reason to be actually go forward and exist, because what's the point? Nothing makes sense, right? People find themselves disconnected with their lives because they haven't actually found the understanding to life that makes them feel good within themselves. I'm here to tell anyone that wants to listen, from my perspective, you all create your own reality. You all have the power to transform your lives for the better. I've proven it to myself over and over again. And if you're worried, if anyone there online is worried about, do I live forever? Or is this the only life I'm ever going to live? I can tell you, hand on heart, from myself, I've been out of my physical body twice, which is called an out-of-body experience. And I have looked at there was blue energy, arm and chest, all vibrating energy outside my physical body, looking at my physical, and the energy was separate. I could see it, I could feel it. I felt about 1,000 times more energy than I've ever felt in my life. We go on. We 100% go on. What do we exactly go on to? Doesn't really matter. Life is what you make it. You can make it a horror show. You can live life and be living in that negative, glass half empty attitude. Life sucks. Everyone sucks. Bad things happen to me. Woe is me. Boom, boom, boom. And your subconscious will hear and see you acting this out, and you will keep recreating these negative situations over and over again. Your subconscious doesn't see negative and positive. It sees the actions and hears the words and basically duplicates what you are saying to it, right? Oliver, how you going, my friend? Good to see you, mate. Welcome. So if you try a few small things for yourself, right? It's one thing to say, oh, Craig's on another planet, he's talking about something that I don't even know anything about. But I implore people to actually try some techniques. When someone brings a package to your front door, or you interact with someone, thank them in a way that's, a little bit over the top. I really appreciate what you've done. You brought the package to the front door. Thank you so much for doing that. They always, half the time, they go missing when someone leaves them in the driveway. I really appreciate you making the effort. Thank you so much. When you respond to someone up higher, or really heartfelt, genuine response, they will be almost, if not a bit shocked, they will come back with no problem at all. They will come back with a higher vibrational return from what you've done. You will get more positive coming back than what they normally would do, because you are opening them up. As you open yourself up, this is a reflection of your reality. It will come back to you. And if they seem shocked and then they still respond, it's because they weren't even going to say anything to you in the first place. But how you have acted has drawn that out of them, right? It's like if someone's acting really bad in front of you and you decide to go down and start saying, shut the hell up, I'll deal with you. Most of the time, they'll then respond with more anger. Fire makes fire. You don't put out anger and frustration by being more angry and frustrated. You put it out by being loving and caring. People that are angry and frustrated are disconnected. They either are believing a lie that they don't really believe, or they don't really know what to believe, and they're lost and they're afraid, and that brings out anger and confusion and all these emotions of somebody help me. They're screaming for help, I watched a video online a little while ago where there was someone, just knocked me stand there. There was someone on a video basically losing his shit in the street. He was really angry and swearing at cars going past. And an older guy hopped out of his vehicle, went over to him and was talking to him for a second. And then he stepped forward and hugged this guy. And basically the guy started crying. And, this guy basically said, it's going to be okay. We're going to get you some help. It's going to be okay. Now, suddenly, because he went with gentle, positive vibration of caring and helping and saying to someone, I'm going to make sure you get some help, they're not angry anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you go and hug people that are out of control, but I am saying that it does show us that working from the heart is the number one thing we should all be doing. You know, we should be trying to transform ourselves into the best version of who we are, because we show others that they can be like that as well. They don't have to be disconnected. They don't have to be lost. No one's ever lost. I'll tell you all a secret. You are all immortal. You live forever. I don't hear any cheering out there. You're immortal. Yeah, you live forever. You're never going to die. Well, your physical body, you'll leave that behind at some stage, but your energy self will move on and you will reconnect with who you really are again. We are beings of light and energy and consciousness. We exist to expand and understand ourselves to the greatest ability. That's what I believe. We want to know ourselves from all aspects. In this lifetime, I'm Craig. I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm experiencing life through Craig's eyes, okay? And you guys are all experiencing life through your eyes. And that's exciting, right? But this is the one life I'm going to be Craig in. This is the one life I'll be Craig. So should I not be treating this life with the greatest of joy and love and care? Should I not be serious about this life? Should I not take it seriously? Life's important, everyone. It is. You don't throw it away like a dirty cloth, right? Clearly gone, Tom. Clearly gone. Life's important, Tom, right? But I think, you know, through my own, you know, realizations with things that I've had and reacted to in life and understood and learnt, then I have my connection with myself, and I'm confident about what I believe and you know, my understanding of who I am at this point. I think there's a lot more, but I think individually it's important to actually try and have a look inside ourselves at some point, you know, because looking outside yourself, it doesn't really work, right? The answers aren't there, and you're going to get a lot of fake information. You know, look online for starters, and everyone's telling you to look a certain way and act a certain way, and then you'll be accepted by everyone. That's a load of bullshit. I mean, being the best version of who you are, being your unique self and embracing your uniqueness, that's the truth of life, because we are all unique sparks of love and light, right? Hey Slim Jim, how you going? You want some Mac as well? You know, I said, you know, you eat a bit of Macca's and, you know, you don't want to treat life like a bag of Macca's, you know, because it won't sit well. It is connecting with the true you, right? Being honest. To Little St. James Island for vacation. So excited. That sounds awesome, Boaz. That sounds very awesome. Well, you enjoy that, right? You enjoy that holiday, mate. You have the greatest time of your life. That's all I've got to say to you. The greatest knowledge does come from within. It really does. Lately, I've been getting feeling like I'm getting a few messages from myself in my own meditations where, you know, more people need to start to inwardly focus, right? Just if you can give yourself 5 minutes a day, if you can sit in your bedroom, say, for 5 minutes and breathe in the nose, exhale out the mouth, and relax and breathe and let the stress of the day go. Yes, Boaz, I do, mate. I do read. When you do that for 5 minutes, you allow anything that you've absorbed over that day to be clear, and you can have a think about how you acted over the day. You can analyze yourself. You can judge yourself, if you want to put it like that, but don't be hard on yourself, right? But you want to know who you are. It's about you looking at you. Are you happy with what you've been doing? No, I haven't read that one, Boaz. I haven't read that one, Meditations by Marcus. Have not read that, no. it is about knowing yourself. And it sounds weird to a lot of Westerners, right? A lot of Western culture. A lot of people think meditation's cracked, right? Like, it doesn't do anything. But you look at the Eastern cultures, the Buddhist monks and all these people, and the Dalai Lama and that, they meditate most of the day. I mean, no one's telling anyone to meditate all day long because we've got other things to be doing in life, right? But if you want to be listening and you want to quiet your mind for a few minutes to give yourself a chance to speak to your higher vibrational self, you might find that some good information comes forward into your conscious mind when you've done it a few times. And meditation is just breathing. Breathing, it's balancing and centering your energy, right? It's yours to do it with, right? It's your life, it's your body. You work out in the gym to get big muscles. Well, if you meditate, you're connecting more with your energy. You're strengthening your energy. You're becoming more balanced in the energy side of your being. So, just doing physical activities only actually strengthens and makes more healthy the physical body. The energy body, which is your true you, needs to also be aligned, needs to also feel that it's not got no blockages, so you can feel the most alive you can feel. And the big part of helping you get that is meditation. It is breathing. It is relaxing. It is stepping out of the craziness of life, the pace of life, and actually taking 5 or 10 minutes just to calm down. Stress is a major killer for people, right? Stress is no good for us. At the very least, if you meditate for 5 or 10 minutes a day, you release the stress from your body that you carry around, and you make yourself feel a lot lighter, right? You will notice those things. Meditation is not a bad thing. It is something that if you've never done it, I do say, try it. No point saying something's crap if you've never even tried it, right? If you've actually given it a good go and it's done nothing for you, well, that's fine. But most people that I know that have tried meditation or even gone along to a meditation class where a few people do it together, they get something out of it. And it's a beginning of them connecting with another part of themselves that they didn't even know really existed. And it's a part that makes you feel a lot more connected with life than anything else that you can do. Meditation connects you with truly who you are, with your energy. And your energy, once you connect with your own energy, you're connecting with the planet, because the planet's got its own energy, which is the same as you. And everything that exists here has its own energy, which is from the same place as your energy. That's right, Bo. No, Bo. I'm not into the dare stuff, mate. There'll be other channels that might like you to do that, but no. Life's what you make of it, guys and girls. Life is what you make of it. Always, I say this during my talks too. If you do like how I talk, if you do want to be more positive, if you do want the ideas that I talk about that help transform your life for the better, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you jump on. Well, I'm not going to do it anyway, Bo, so you can try what you want. But, you want to basically, you just want to basically treat your life like it's important. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Not just do it for yourself. You're doing it for the people you care about. If you connect with yourself and you start to transform your life for the better, don't get frustrated, Bo. It's what it is, mate. You're being the best example you can be to the people around you that you care about. And I think that's something that's, that's a gift that you can't pay for, right? I know, Bo. It's all right, mate. I like a good joke, mate. But, that's life, right? Life's what you make of it. Why don't you make it good? Why don't you make it awesome? Why don't you make it brilliant, right? Stephen, very good to hear, mate, that you are making it the best you can. And I want to say this too tonight. Look, there's no place that any of you are ever going to get to where you've made it. If anyone thinks that that's disappointing, don't be. You know, there's no point in life where you've got to get there or else you disappear and there's no more you, right? There is no point that you have to achieve. If you want to sit in a beanbag and do whatever for your whole life and drink alcohol and whatever and just enjoy doing whatever it is that you want to do, you're still going to live forever. No drama, because that's who you are. You are a spark of existence that, you know, no matter where you are in the realization of your real self, that won't change, right? You'll learn what you learn. Hey, Ryan, how you going? You'll learn what you learn in this life, you know, and it's okay whatever level you learn. 1.4 I consider would be enough. Mate, there's no expectation, right? You come here to live your existence. If you wanted to put yourself in a bush setting and separate yourself from society and live amongst the koalas, and that's what you wanted your life to be, go for it. You know, you'll cross over and you'll decide, is that what I want to do for those 80 years? That's fine. Appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you for coming and hanging out for a minute. You're always welcome. But, you know, don't put pressure on yourself about life, but life is meant to be enjoyed, right? Why would you want to put yourself through hell when you can learn the things you want to learn in a really positive way? I thought people had finished up with that little carry-on dibble. You're showing your age there, mate. So I just want you guys to understand that there shouldn't be any pressure on yourself. Life can be awesome, right? Life can be awesome. It's whatever you want it to be. Don't put pressure on yourself. Live life in the most positive way you can. Do the things that you enjoy the most, whatever they are. As long as you're not going out to hurt anyone else or try and control other people for your own nefarious reasons, you're listening to your heart, go after the things that you want to go after. And life will transform for the better for you. It's really, really that simple. You know, you do have a say in your life. You all do. You have a say in your reality. You have a say in your world. You know, what you do makes a difference to what happens in your world, right? You can put pressure on yourself, Steve, and you know, as the old age, pressure makes diamonds, but you don't want to over pressurize yourself either, where you have a sudden breakdown and you press so hard you crash into a concrete barrier because you've lost control of your vehicle, right? So find a good balance. Of course, everyone's trying to achieve things that want to achieve in life. But make sure you're going after the things that actually are true to you, right? If it's from your heart, well, that's because your wife's making all the decisions, Roseram. That's just how it is, brother. If what you're going after is from your heart, if what you're going after is in your heart and something that's real, no problem, mate. You know, you're not gonna, you'll strive to achieve that because you love doing it, right? But you won't burn yourself out, because when you love doing something, your energy lifts. You get a real abundant energy, right? When you're doing something you hate, you run out of energy really fast. I hate doing this, and your energy drops right off. So if you're doing something that you really love, that's a passion of yours, you will know. You will know, because your vibration, your energy will be much, much higher than normal. That's what they mean by lifting your vibration and going after the things in life that you love. So that's right. Think about things that are purely from you, Steve, that are your passions. My advice is grab the one that's most poignant, the one that stands out to you, the one that you go, well, I've always loved that the most, and start to add that into your life somehow. And then watch what happens. But you've got to actually start to try and add it in. If you don't do any actions towards the things that you feel passionate about, Well, I have less subscribers than you, Massico. So I don't think, but hopefully you got what I said, Steve. Sorry, mate. I don't think that growing the page should be trying to grow the page just because you want to monetize it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there doing very random, basic things just for a laugh to monetize a page. And you know, me, for what I'm doing it to have, for myself, to put out what I believe in, and hopefully people get something from it. I'm not worried whether I'm talking to 3 people here or whether I'm talking about 1,000 people. It's, you know, I hope that people do get something positive from me talking about how I see life, and I'm putting my authentic self out there for you guys to listen and like or not like. You know, that's something I'm doing for me because I believe it's important from my perspective. Jade, we are talking about life, the universe, and everything, and you know, I hope everything's been going good for you. Dibble wants to sort of say that number that everyone wants to say, but you know, Dibble, what can you do? You know, we all know about it. It's old school, mate. You know, people have to come up with new stuff now. So I have to know everything about this. Thanks, mate. I'll return the favour. No worries. You know, yeah, so sorry, I'm just, where are we going here? Sorry, guys. Just got to read Stephen's comment there. Something was doing something because look, you can be ADHD can make you hyper focused. Yeah, I know a little bit about it. And basically, when you love something, you can get really hyper focused on it. And I noticed that in your comments earlier on. That's okay, but you've got to be really aware not to burn out, right? So it's very important that you do connect with something that you love to do, that you're doing something that makes you feel really good about yourself, that's unique to you. It's a passion of yours. You should be seriously thinking about those things. You know, each person's only got so much time in the day to focus or do things outside maybe what they do for work or whatever it might be. So do the things in that time that are your greatest joys, the things that mean the most to you, that just lift you. You know, when you're feeling down, you go and do whatever and that lifts you. That's what you should be going after. Yes, Jade's in Australia, Dibble. That's it. That's right. Not always positive, mate, but I'm saying that if you find something that you're really passionate about, you want to use that hyper focus to be much better used to funnel down the passionate path to achieve those things for yourself, because then you'll have a better lift of energy because you'll be really be enjoying what you're doing and you'll be creating things at a higher vibrational frequency for yourself. But you've got to be good to yourself. And meditation would also work well for you, Steve, because it quietens the mind and it slows the heart rate and it gives you back control. It helps center yourself. And I know that the ADHD would be hard to do it, but just focusing on your breathing. You breathe all the time anyway. Breathe in your nose, deep into your diaphragm, exhale out your mouth. Do this for 5 minutes, once a day or twice a day, and just to center yourself, just to calm yourself. That's all you need to do. And you'll find that, you know, if you start doing that and make it a habit, you'll find that you might want to expand on that as you go along, right? But they're the things I'd suggest, Steve. No dramas at all. Yeah, Grandma. Jesus. Well, Roadstrom's been checking out all the different YouTube people across the thing. So, look, I know there's a lot of negative stuff out there, everyone, right? I'm doing this because something that I wanted to do. So, if you like that, hey, there's a random dude here that's talking positive about you can make a difference in your own life if you want to try a couple of different techniques and, you know, attack life in a different way, then I'm here. I'm going to be doing my lives on a regular basis, and it's probably 3 to 4 times a week you'll find me jumping on. It's important if you like the things that I'm talking about, that you subscribe and you use your notifications so you know when I hop on. But usually any time between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Melbourne, Australia time, is when you'll find me jumping on. Hogs Baffleworth, how you doing, buddy? Well, Roadstrom, that's no good, mate. You know, you have to just block them, move them on, right? There are, what do they call them? Trolls. They call them trolls, mate, and they've got nothing better to do than try and knock other people down that are trying to be positive. You know, it's a sad, sad existence if you want to go out there and just, you know, bring other people down because you feel bad about yourself. Anyone that acts bad, okay, here's my opinion of people that are acting negatively and angry and bad, is they have been treated really badly through their life and they haven't been able to deal with that. They're still hanging on to their own anger, their own frustration, their own shame that's been dumped upon them by probably their family or friends or whoever it is. They've been bullied, whatever it is, and they're looking for someone to unload it upon to, right? Anyone that's acting out is carrying dumped shame, right? And Jagvia, nah, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Happy days. How you going? You going all right? Might be my my lighting, to be honest. No, but look, attitude's everything, everyone, right? Well, Dibble's up there dancing with his grandma and grandpa. That's fantastic. Attitude is everything. Mr. Snow, what's your favourite sentence? That makes no sense to me. I've got lots of favourite sentences, but, you know, no one that particularly stands out. But you create your own reality would be one of my favourites, Mr. Snow. There you go. You and every single other person out there. Once I believe there'll be a time come where people will open up to that understanding and really click with it, right? They'll really click with it. I think when the vibration of this planet does lift to a certain point, our awareness about who we are will take it to another level. And that's something that I think will happen naturally. You know, it might freak a few people out, but hey, you know, understanding who we are at another level as human beings, and are we more than just human? Are we these sparks of love and light? Are we energy? Are we consciousness? Do we go on, right? I believe all this, but many of us don't have that understanding locked away yet for ourselves. It's about finding your own center it's about finding your own truth, finding you within the mess of everything else that's out there in life. Life's exciting, right? It can be whatever you want it to be. So be glass half full. Create great stuff for yourself. Treat people in a way that you want to be treated, right? Put out the thoughts, the words, and the actions that you want to have more of in your life. If you act in a negative way, if you're happy, even, see, your subconscious doesn't get sarcasm to it. I'm just going to let you all know this. If you're acting like negatively or a bit smart-assy and you're joking around, all your subconscious hears is you're acting negatively, and it will create more of that. So you want to be really clear about how you're going and what you're putting out there. Your thoughts should be genuine. Your comments should be, you know, authentic and positive, right? But the only way you act and talk like that is if you clear away the blockages and beliefs that are, you know, having you not be positive in every aspect of your life. So you do have to analyze yourself, and you have to decide, is that a positive attitude I've got there? Or maybe I'll change that and I'll be something different in that area. I want to act differently. I don't want to act like Auntie Rose did because she was racist and she didn't like Asians, right? So whatever it might be. And when you're a child and you get that person that's racist acting, you absorb it. And then when you get older, you realize, I don't want to be like that, and you get an opportunity to clear it. So we as adults have to actually take ownership of who we are, right? And Good night, Dibble. Sleep tight, Dibble. I hope to see you again, Dibble. Now, you know, we have to take ownership of who we are, guys. Guys and girls, no one else is going to solve... Hey, Jade, you're back. Excellent. No one else is going to solve your problems for you. There's no being out there that's going to swoop in and go, I've got you covered. You acted like a dickhead, but I got you covered. You're good. No, that's not going to happen. Your whole way you act, what you think, how you feel, your behaviors and all that, it's all on you. You have to take control of that. You have to decide what version of you want to be. I've come to the point in my life where I'm just going to be the best version of myself because I know within myself that what I act like reflects and gets created back to me. So why would I act like an idiot? I don't want to be an idiot, right? I want to be the best version of myself because that's what I want to create. They're the things I want to have happen. When blockages come up, you get an opportunity, Oliver, to decide whether you want to hold on to that blockage anymore. Okay? You decide then. When something comes up from the past that you weren't able to deal with as a younger person, and suddenly it's come back up and it's raised its negative attitude through a way you've reacted, and you go, oh my God, I don't want to say that. That was terrible. Analyze yourself, decide whether, accept that you've been believing that, but once you accept that you don't want to be like that anymore, you instantly let it go. You instantly let it go. And then you can replace it with a much better belief for you to help you allow more positive into your life. Because negative beliefs block a lot of good stuff coming in. They block a lot of good stuff. Hi, Dave. How you going, mate? Harvey, shalom to you too, sir. Appreciate the legends. I'm just being myself, guys. That's it. And, I know that a lot of you guys appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you because I know you're going out there probably trying to take on the world in your own way and be your best version of you can be. Because that's the idea, right? John Lennon said it. One person can change the world. Your actions, other people see your actions. Like when you raise a child, right? Children don't get raised by what you say. They become what you act. So as you act and be, even when you're not doing it at them, they watch you. So they're sponges. So the people that you care about in other ways are seeing and hearing how you go about it. You want to be that version of yourself. You want to be the best version that you can be. Because that says, and when things start to transform for you, others go, wow, Harvey's basically transforming the way he seems to be doing things differently, and it's all coming together for him. And Roadstrom, that's okay. It's like, put it like this, Roadstrom, I'm going to change tack to you, mate. So I know crystals, they're maybe not your thing, that's sweet. With crystals, right, it's listening to your intuition. So if you feel like wearing it, your intuition or your higher self wants you to open up that area of vibration. That's how I see it. But there'll be times when you don't feel like wearing it, which means that you're not looking to open up that area of vibration with yourself, and you take the crystal off, right? So you're not always going down the same path. When you go after something that you're enjoying or doing something you're enjoying, and then it comes to a dead end, it's time to have a look at what's next. What's something else that you're into, and go after that. And it's like from one passion to the next, but they lead you to where you want to go, right? So the YouTube things come to an end, Roadstrom, that's okay. Monty Moon B-Man. All right, yeah, Monty Moon B-Man. How you going? So it just means that has come to an end for you. And you might start it again at another point, right? But for now, you can let that go. and maybe your energy is being drawn to something else that you're into, then you go after that. You've always got to find, there's always got to be another thing that you're really excited to do, and that's what you're doing. Johnny Rangus. Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness. So it is, guys, it is all about you, right? In the most self-worth way. You are all perfect sparks of existence. Every single one of you human beings are more than what you realise, right? And I do believe that as we go forward this year, next year, more and more of us are going to wake up to what's going on. Who are we? There's more to us than meets the eye. Human beings aren't just about, we don't just allow ourselves to be controlled by a couple of people up in the... there's no such thing as a sin. Declan, you want to smoke bongs? It's okay by me. If you're not hurting anybody else, if you're doing things because it's something that brings you joy and it's something that you want to do in your life, then go for it, right? I don't have any issue with that at all, because you have the right to live your life in the way you want to live it, right? That's it. We all create our own reality, yeah? So you don't worry about what other people generally say. As long as you're not trying to control other people or, treat other people really badly. But if you're trying to control others through your actions, well, I draw the line at that and say you don't really have a right to try and manipulate others. But you do have every right to do and decide what's right for you. If it's something that's coming from inside yourself and it's genuine, if they're negative thoughts, then it's probably coming from your ego self. But if it's something that you love, if you love smoking marijuana and that's something that does something for you that you need, and it's usually that it does lift the vibration a bit in that period, but only for a shortish time, then it's up to you whether you do it or not. But, I talk about how if you go after something that you really enjoy, that's a passion of yours, you can actually lift your vibration and it stays up high. And that might be, doing a particular hobby or something in life that just makes you feel excited to be alive, right? Natural remedies and drugs and things like that, they'll give you a bit of a burst of a high, but then it drops back off again, so that's just how, yeah. No worries, Declan, all good, brother. But yeah, mate, live your life, right? I got no dramas about that at all. I mean, life's to be enjoyed, mate. I mean, if you're doing shit you don't enjoy, I'd say change what you're doing, right? You've only got so much life. Be out there and do things that you really enjoy doing. Don't waste it, right? Don't waste your life. But yeah, I think more people are waking up to the fact that there's more to human beings than what we know and what we've been told, right? And the journey is exciting. It's the journey. There's no right or wrong, right? You're all doing the best you can. Pat yourselves on the back for where you are. You're all here in the now. You're all here in the now. You've got yourself here. Be really proud of yourself that you've been able to create your own reality to this point. And then let's see what happens with the continuation of all of our journeys going forward into 2026. Because I think this year is going to be a bloody brilliant year, right? And life's what you make it, so make it good, all right? Now, again, anyone that likes what I talk about, please, you can always subscribe. You can always jump on. Then you'll see, if you subscribe and you hit the notifications, you'll see when old Craigster jumps on and starts having a chat about life, the universe and everything. If you like the things I talk about, make sure you have subscribed. If you have friends or family or whoever that is struggling a bit with life, that maybe wants a different perspective, right? I come at it from a different perspective, and it's something I believe in fully. So, invite people along to have a listen. I mean, I know there are people that jump on and have a listen to what I talk about, and I'm always going to be glass half full. I'm always going to try and help people to lift themselves up out of whatever stuff is going on in their life and give them a positive perspective of ways they can go about improving their situation. So, you know, I do live in Australia. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, mate, down south, the south of Australia. Victoria is the state. Melbourne is the capital. So I'm in the Melbourne. Yes, so there you go. I think we might wrap it up for the night, boys and girls. I hope we've all got a bit of positivity out of it. I hope that, you know, life is going okay for you. But if it's not, remember, your attitude can help change things around for yourself. You just have to be honest with who you are and where you are. Be honest, right? Be honest and basically take ownership of where you are in your life and then decide where you want to go to next. Empower yourself with that. You can do it. It's life is an open book. You know, no one just goes around telling everyone that, right? Appreciate you, Casual Husky. Appreciate you jumping on, mate. I've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes, so I was gonna wrap it up. But I hope that life is treating you well, and I hope that all things are all good. And I just want to let everyone know that no matter what's going on, you know, try to be the observer this year. My best advice for everyone out there through 2026, observe what's going on out there. Don't get caught up in it. Stay nice and centered. Do the things that bring you the most joy in your life, and you'll be fine. Life will be great. Go after the things that are from your heart, that you really enjoy doing, and you will have a fantastic 2026. Don't get caught up in the bigger things that are going on. A lot of, you know, old energies coming out of this planet and being cleared. You can be an observer and stay centered and positive. That's my best advice to everyone that has listened to me talk. Life is what you make it, and you control your own reality. So be clear, be positive, be focused, want the best for yourself. Your words, your thoughts, and your actions create your own reality. They're the things that the subconscious sees and hears and listens to, and it copies it and creates more for you. So those three things are important: what you think, what you say, and how you act. Take ownership of those things, and when negative stuff comes up, acknowledge it and let it go. All right? That's it. But I can tell you now, Casual, you go on forever, mate. You are immortal from my perspective, and you should be living life to the fullest, because it never ends, brother. It never ends, and it's exciting. There you go. No, I'm very much a heterosexual man. Just because I have an earring from when I was 18 years old does not mean a person is gay, just for people that are not sure. I have a missus and I have two grown adult boys that I've raised, and they are very, very centered. I'm very proud of the boys. And look, you know, I accept everyone for who they are. And I hope that you all go out there and accept other people for who they are. Casual Husky, I do not mind whatever sexual preference a person has, whatever race, creed, or religion you are, does not concern me at all. We are all brothers and sisters, and we all basically should be treating each other with the greatest love and respect that we can, because we are family. There should be no hate in the world, right? Small 8498. Okay. We are, mate, Casual, and that's how it is, brother. Oh, that's an interesting, funny little comment there. No worries, Quasimodo. You keep struggling, all right? Look, guys, I've had a ball again tonight. I enjoy it. I enjoy expressing how I see things. I hope that a lot of you get a lot out of it. Casual Husky, you're always welcome, brother. Everyone else, you are always welcome here. Be the best versions of yourself. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Your life will transform for the better, all right? Little Leaf, Come back anytime, mate. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Curiosity opened up ideas and opinions to transform people's lives. So always be curious and always be skeptical. Craig's World rocks. So does yours, everyone. If you do like how I talk, don't forget to subscribe and come and hang out on my next live. I'd say I'll be on tomorrow, about 24 hours time. All right. Take care of yourselves. Be good. See you later.